Is a student loan servicer your friend? Many borrowers, just out of sheer desperation and not knowing where to turn, eventually, when they have questions about their federal student loans, reach out to the Department of Education saying, hey, help, like, here are all these different programs. How do they work? How do they function? How do I take advantage of them? And the Department of Education ends up sending them to the federal student loan servicer or multiple different federal student loan servicers in some cases in order to help you understand how to navigate your own student loan strategy. I find this to be very fascinating, I guess is the right word, and many people don't understand that there's a company like Student Loan Tutor out there that could be your advocates if you knew they existed. So let me explain to you what this is really like. Think of the student loan, think of the Department of Education as you would think of the IRS. And think of your student loans as you would think of your taxes. And think of the federal student loan servicer as someone that works for the IRS, like an IRS agent. Essentially what happens is, it would be the equivalent of wondering what your tax deductions are and how you should file your taxes, calling up the IRS and asking for this advice. And then, when you contact the IRS, they tell you to check with an IRS agent in order to advise you on the strategy for how to save money on your taxes, how to take deductions, and how to file your taxes. Which, if you think about it, is really silly. It's even more fascinating than this because the Department of Education is a government agency, and the federal student loan servicers, who are hired by the Department of Education, whose sole purpose is to charge you as much money as possible, is a for-profit corporation with shareholders and a fiduciary responsibility to collect as much money as possible from every borrower that they service the loans for. So who the heck are we, and how do we fit in? The way that it works, the way that student loan works, is an advocate on your behalf. Essentially, the same way a CPA or a tax professional works with your taxes, you would speak with a professional who has your interest in mind, that could explain to you what deductions you qualify for. They handle all of the paperwork and submit it to the IRS. The same thing works with Student Loan Tutor. Instead of looking at your taxes, we take a look at your student loans. What's fascinating is student loans have evolved. Before, there was no need for this because everything was balance-based. Now you have multiple different variable repayment plans that take into account many different aspects. Things like your income, how you get paid, how often you get paid, your spouse's income, your tax filing status, your 1040 from your previous year's taxes, your student loan balance, multiple different interest rates. Where do you work? What type of programs do you qualify for? When did you graduate? When was your last loan disbursement? When was your original loan disbursement? All of these come into play to qualify you for different repayment options. There's subsidized student loan forgiveness, negative amortization forgiveness, disability forgiveness, closed school forgiveness. There's so many different variables. And when you're dealing with the federal student loan, servicer, they're asking questions in order to figure out what it is that you do not qualify for. However, when you contact Student Loan Tutor, we're your advocate, so we're looking for, when we're asking you questions, our focus is, what is it that you do qualify for? So give us a call, talk to one of our professionals, you may even get me on the phone, and we'll help you walk through what your true options are with your federal student loan strategy. My name is Zack Geist, the Student Loan Tutor, signing out.